The rich man turned the famous Paris Opera Ballet into a brothel. Were you curious? Come with me. Hey guys, we are from the channel One More Curiosity, and today you're gonna see exactly what I just told you. The star moment should be triumphant. She is brilliant lit, her leg lifted in a graceful ballet pose, and she is clearly the star of the show, but in the wings lurk a black-clad figure, a symbol for the sordid backstage reality of the ballerina. It's not clear who Edgar Degas uses as the model for the 1879 painting Toilet that depicts that tense moment, but it's likely that she was a prostitute. Sex work was a part of the ballerina's reality during the 19th century, an era in which money, power, and prostitution mingled in the glamorous and not-so-glamorous backstage world of Paris Opera. The Paris Opera Ballet, founded in the 17th century, was the world's first professional ballet company and continues as one of the preeminent outfits today. Throughout the 19th century, it raises the bar for dance, but on the backs of many exploited young women. Women entered the ballet as young children, training at the opera's dance school until they could snag a coveted position in the corps de ballet. Girls who studied at the school became apprentices to the opera. Only after years of militaristic training and a series of brutal exams could they get guaranteed long-term contracts. In the meantime, they were attended classes and auditioned for small walk-on roles, often malnourished and dressed in hand-me-downs. The petiterettes of the ballet were vulnerable to social and sexual exploitation, and the wealthy male subscriber of the Paris Opera, nicknamed abonnés, were often on hand to exploit them. The ballet is what the bar room is to many a large hotel, wrote Scribner's Magazine in 1892. The chief paying factor, the one from which the surplus profit come. Men subscribe to the opera not for the music, but for the beautiful ballerinas who danced twice per show. And behind the scenes, they bought sexual favors from the women they ogled on stage. The abonnés were so powerful, they were part of the opera's very architecture. When Charles Garnier designed his iconic opera house in the 1860s, he included a special separate entrance for season ticket holders. The building also included a lavish room called the Foyer de la Danse, located directly behind the stage. It was a place where ballet dancers could warm up and practice their moves before and during performance. But it was designed with male patrons, not dancers, in mind. The foyer was a place for them to socialize with proposition ballet dances. At the time, women's bodies were typically covered by lots of clothing. In contrast, ballet dances were skimpy in revealing outfits. Through ballet costumes of the time, which include skirts, were much less from fitting than today's leotards and tights. Subscribers could and did go backstage to all ogle women due to social status, right? They were free to socialize with them too. Edgar scenes took place backstage, wrote Comte de Magny, who described the Foyer de la Danse as a kind of meat market. For subscribers, backstage was a kind of men's club where they could meet and greet other power brokers, make business deals, and bask in a highly sexualized atmosphere. For dancers, though, it was a place where they were subject to scrutiny and harassment. Dancers were expected to submit the attentions and affections of subscribers, most of whom were noblemen and important financiers, and whose money underwrote the majority of opera's operation. Since subscribers were so powerful, they could influence who made it into coveted roles and who was fired from the ballet. They could lift a girl out of poverty by becoming her patron or client, setting her in a comfortable quarters and paying for private lessons that could increase her cachet in the ballet. Often, girls' own mothers who acted not unlikely entertainment agents today helped set up and maintain these relationships. For many Paris Opera ballerinas from poor backgrounds, a relationship with a rich man was their only chance at stability. Some dancers managed to advance without a rich patron, becoming celebrities on the merits of their own abilities, notes historian Lawrence Combs. But even those dancers who did succeed independently were looked down as a suspected prostitutes. One influential Parisian couldn't afford the expensive subscription that allowed special access to ballerinas. Impressionist painters Edgar Degas, during the 1870s and 1880s, he produced hundreds of drawings and paintings of Paris opera dancers, relying on his friends to secure backstage passes so he could sketch the dancers in the habitat. There he recorded behind the scenes views of dancers practicing and captured glimpses of the worlds of the lecturers and their subscribers. One of Degas' best known works is his Little Dancers of 14 years, a life-size statue of a teenager with teacher rat, or a ballet dancer in training. To modern eyes, is the portrait of a child who eagerly awaits her next dance step. But when Degas exhibited in 1881, it was panned by the critics, who called the dancer frightfully ugly, monkey-like, and marked by a hateful promise of every vice. Degas' subject may have been vulnerable, but for 19th century observers, she was marked by the sordidness of the sexual harassment that was baked into ballet. Teenager Marie Van Gutten, a Paris opera petite red who molded for the sculpture, likely traded sex for money in order to survive. But even if she hadn't, almost certain Degas' audience would have assumed she did. So, this is the end of one more video. Now, if you like this video, leave your comment and subscribe to the channel to follow more trivia videos. See you next time. Thank you.